Hey guys, so as you can tell by the title, I decided to do just a quick Q&A video. A lot of the questions that I usually get regarding hair care are pretty repetitive, so I'm going to try to include them all in this video here just to help you guys out, let you know what sort of products I use, routines, things like that, just to kind of help out and kind of give you an update. It's been a year since I've actually done a YouTube video, so I've learned a lot this past year regarding my hair. I just wanted to share that with you guys. So if you're interested, keep watching. Okay, so first, let's talk products. Very highly demanded question. I get it all the time, and not just me. Every time there's any sort of questionnaire for any naturalist, everyone wants to know what everyone else uses. Because there's so many different products, different hair types, products don't really work the same necessarily for one person as they would for the next. So it's always good to know what's available, what's out there, just to see, just try it out, see if it works for you. So one product that has never changed, mine's all gone, or about gone, but my Cantu, I don't know if you guys can see that. This one is the Argan Oil. It's actually my first time trying the Argan Oil. Usually I just try the regular one, but this is the leave-in conditioner. This is what I use after washing. I apply this. I'll use it sometimes for a deep condition, and then I'll apply it weekly in order to re-moisturize my hair on the go, especially when I wear my puffs. So this I do swear on. Another product, I always get asked, how do I lay my edges and my baby hairs? So if you guys can see the edges and the baby hairs, a lot of people ask how I get them to lay. So what I use is, I didn't bring my spray bottle, but water, not really product, but water first. I'll spray it around the edges, and then I'll brush it. I'll apply this guy right here, Eco Styler with olive oil, just to dab a little bit out, rub it on the edges, and then also brush that in. And then I'll go ahead and either put in the puff or put in 2 puffs, and then I'll try a scarf around my head. That way it holds it and lays it down, so that's flat and laid. And then I'll get dressed or put on my makeup, whatever else I need to do to give it some time to lay. After I take off the scarf, I then use a toothbrush, and I'll kind of fix whatever's weird looking around the edges, the baby hairs. And then for extra hold, I'll sometimes use this olive oil ORS. I love it because it's like a paste almost. Like, it's hard to see, but it's not a gel, so it has a really tight hold. It doesn't cake up, it doesn't flake, and it smells really good too. So I really love this. And one more product I want to show you guys that I use non-stop is this guy, Aussie Moist. I'll make sure you guys can see it. So this is the 7-in-1 Total Miracle Collection. Usually I'll just get the conditioner, the regular conditioner. It works just fine. But this I will apply after washing while still in the shower. I'll apply it, leave it in, scrub-dub, and after I rinse off, then I'll go ahead and rinse this out halfway. I leave some of it in just because I love how clean, it's soft, it smells great, but I never rinse all the way out. I always leave a little bit in. And just because I love how it makes my hair feel and look. So that's about it for products. Besides that, when it comes to oils, I use coconut oil and olive oil mixture. I'll throw those in as well. But those are the main products I use. I don't really use a whole lot of different types. In the beginning of my natural hair journey, I did experiment with a lot of different brands, but once I kind of found what worked for me, I didn't really venture off after that. So I'm sure there's other great ones out there, I just haven't tried them yet. But that's what works for me, so hopefully it worked for you guys too. Get questions a lot about my journey overall, how it started, whether I big chopped, transitioned, how long I've been natural, things like that. So the basics. Just want to go ahead and knock those out. So I have not been natural all my life. I actually did get relaxers, perms, when I was younger. I have been fully natural for a year. I transitioned a year prior to that. So this growth here is 2 years worth overall. But I did transition from heat damage and color damage and the relaxer. All three of those things, I just kind of slowly cut off that damaged hair as time progressed until eventually I was left with my natural. So it's been 2 years now. Yeah, this month actually makes 2 years. So I never did the big chop. I've always been kind of curious how that would have worked out. I did think about it. I had scheduled an appointment and everything. I was just like, I'm gonna cut it all off, start fresh. But I just didn't go through with it. I don't know. I just wasn't ready, I guess. I didn't feel like it was for me. But I did transition and I don't regret it. To me, it wasn't difficult. They say if you do the big chop, then you kind of learn your natural hair little by little as you go, versus transitioning. We have these two different textures to deal with. So it can be a lot harder to manage, a lot harder to blend, don't really know what to do with it. But I mean, it works. It's more so personal preference. It wasn't too difficult for me, so I can do it, you can do it. Coloring. A lot of questions about coloring my hair and getting damage, or how I prevent damage when coloring my hair so much, things like that. So whenever I color my hair, which I do it myself, there's a couple different brands that I've tried out, but they're all usually the little hair kits that come at home. You mix it together, put it in for however long, rinse it out, the whole nine. So whenever I color my hair, I just kind of make sure my hair is prepared for it, and then be sure to repair as much as possible right after. So 2 weeks prior to coloring, regardless of what color I'm doing, I'll do a protein treatment and deep condition. So when I do my protein treatments, I use mayonnaise, preferably with olive oil. You guys know I love me some olive oil. But I use just regular old grocery store mayonnaise, put that in, and do the protein treatment. That way I know my hair is at its fullest strength. Right after that, however, your hair is really, really dry. It completely dries it out. So I do the deep condition as well. I'll wait a couple weeks after that, and then I'll color my hair. After I color it, then again, I'll do a deep condition. A couple weeks later, a few weeks later more so, I'll do another protein treatment just to make sure. So about once a month, I would say, protein treatment. Not every month. More so it's just for me if I color it, or if I feel like my curls aren't really at their best, I'll do the protein treatments. But besides that, just making sure that the colored hair does stay moisturized, because that color is a sort of chemical. So whenever applying chemical in natural hair, you want to make sure that you take care of it. It can look really, really dry sometimes, even if it's not. It doesn't look too bad right now, but very, very important, especially if you're like me and you just put it on the ends, not more so roots. It's very important because the ends, of course, will break off first. So make sure those are conditioned. Don't want any breakage. We want to keep our length. So yeah, that's pretty much it for coloring. Okay, so next question is regarding growth. I get so many questions because everyone's so shocked when I tell them that I've only been natural for 2 years. Like, how do you get it to grow so fast? What do you use? Honestly, I don't use any special products specifically for growth. I've never taken any pills, nothing like that, no creams for growth, none of that. In all honesty, I do feel like genetics play a big part. I'm not saying it's solely genetic, so don't get discouraged. But I just naturally am a hairy person, I guess. I don't know. Like, honestly, my eyebrows grow super fast. I've just never had a problem with growing hair. So I'm going to leave that at that because it can get pretty gross. But yeah, genetics do play a part. Don't get discouraged if you don't feel like your hair grows quickly. My best recommendation or advice would be to focus on the health of your hair first. As long as you're focusing on the health of your hair, the growth will come. Which may sound like a cliche. I know, I get it. I know. But I sincerely believe that as long as your hair is healthy, it's gonna grow. I mean, it may not grow as fast as the next person, but you stick to it, you're consistent, you find what works for you, and your growth will come. Questions about protective styles. So when it comes to protective styling, I do have a couple favorites. I do love braids. I don't get them too often just because I don't have the patience, but you may find it hard to believe being that much hair that I have requires patience, but I can't just sit there for hours at a time. I did have faux locks once and I loved them. Love the faux locks, but they took too long, so I never got them again. And then I had kind of box braids, but they're like jumbo box braids, so they didn't take too long, but they also didn't last too long. So I've only gotten those once. Did love them though. My favorite protective style that I probably use more often than not are the half wigs that you will see on my Instagram page. If you don't see me with my puffs or puff, then you'll probably see me with the curly, loose curls. Most likely that's a half wig. I was wearing one in my last YouTube video from last year. It was gray. But yeah, I love half wig just because you can do the spray on color them without worrying about damage. You can cut them, style them. They're super easy to blend. And I'll probably do a video with half wigs just to show you guys how simple it can be and how fabulous it can look, because I really love doing those. I wear those for a couple weeks at a time, even 3 weeks. It probably lasts up to 3 weeks, and then switch them out just because it is synthetic hair. I haven't tried it with human hair, but I imagine it would work similar. But yeah, it's had to be my go-to when it just comes to what else? I believe I've covered almost everything. What else? Oh, heat. I get asked questions about straightening my hair or blow drying my hair, if I blow it out, whatever the case may be. I stay away from heat as much as possible. Sometimes if I'm doing a wash and go, more so wash and go puff, I rarely wear my wash and go out. But if I do, I'm trying to keep my wash and go texture. Sometimes I will diffuse it, but I don't use the heat. I use cool air and to just kind of speed up the process and hold the curls in. But I very rarely use heat. The time I actually use heat is if I'm blowing it out or if I'm straightening it to get my ends clipped or something like that. But otherwise, I don't wear my hair straight. I did have a sew-in earlier this year, and I straightened the leave out, and I used heat protectant, but apparently not enough, or not a good one, because it did alter my curl pattern a bit in the front. You can't really tell now, of course, but that leave out, you can definitely tell was leave out. It's not horrible, and the mayonnaise has worked wonders on it, but it's still not exactly the way it was, and it still doesn't exactly match the rest of the curls around this area. But after that, I was just like, yeah, straight hair is not for me. Apparently, I don't need heat. I'm gonna stay away from that. Love my curls too much, so I don't do heat. Okay, so I believe that's it for now. I'm so sorry if I left out anything. If there's a question you have and I didn't include it, you can go ahead and comment below. I will get back to you with whatever questions you have. But that's it for now. My next videos going forward, I will go more in depth. I just kind of gave some general information regarding routine and products. I know you guys have requested to see actual wash day routine, specific products, and what the specific process is. I feel like that's room for another video that I should dedicate specifically to that. So that will come later. But if there's any quick questions, just general questions that I did leave out, go ahead and comment below. I'll knock those out for you as well. But besides that, I will see you guys in the next video.